sign of a life outdoors. The partners sat off on their own during the break, and Prue struggled through a conversation with the young man who ran the excavator. He had pulled off the tight hood of his waterproof. His black hair was shaved back and sides, and the top left to tumble forward of its own accord. Too late, Prue saw the earbuds dangling from his shirt pocket, and she realized he'd probably rather be listening to his music than talking with her. She plunged ahead. He mumbled his name again, his face reddened at every question, and his replies were terse. 17, ma'am. Preston on Y, ma'am. No brothers or sisters, ma'am. The rest of the day, Prue took any assignment Chiv handed to her. She checked off components for the water feature, the pump, hoses, filters, and more, as Chiv unpacked and examined each. She checked the stone delivery and noted they were 4 pallets short, so Chiv sent her on a walkabout to suss out the missing rocks. The rain had started up again, and she waded through a stream up the roadway, wiping drops out of her eyes to examine a continuous line of pallets until she found their rocks at the top of Main Avenue near a garden sponsored by an African charity. At lunch, she made her way alone to the exhibitor's marquee and bought a sandwich. No one else from the garden followed. After her sandwich, she wandered the grounds, stopping to watch the Aussies build a mountain. So that's where the excavated soil had gone. One of their crew stood on the platform of a crane as it was raised near the beginnings of a tall metal framework. "Hello, darling," he called down to her. "Fancy a lift?" Prue smiled and waved, but didn't stop to watch as he rose higher and higher. The afternoon found her ankle-deep in mud and shifting siding for the shed. The shed had a dual purpose, the facade of wide, weathered pine boards and a screen door with a rusted metal advertisement for sliced bread would be the front of the gas station in their piece of the hill country, but at the back would be a door into the storage space for the crew. The rain pelted, making Prue grateful for her waterproofs, and, as more than once a heavy piece of lumber landed on her foot, she was thankful for her steel-toed boots, too. Roddy McWeeks did not return, but texted Prue to say he got caught up in something and would see her tomorrow. She told Chiv, and he cursed. About 5 o'clock, just as the rain petered out, the 4 of them, Chiv, Iris, the young man, and Prue, stood round with cups of tea. Chiv threw a tarp over the frame of the shed and decreed, "That's enough for today." The young man departed, and Iris braced herself against the digger using a knife to scrape mud from her boots as Chiv sat on the edge of the pit, staring at the ground. After hanging up her waterproofs and boots under the tarp in the unfinished shed, Prue approached him. "Well, that's me away. See you first thing in the morning." He stirred and he nodded. "So, you'll be back?" "Of course I'll be back," Prue said, and added encouragingly, "And the Austin women will be here Saturday. I know they're eager to get started. And Twyla, of course." "Chiv," Iris said. "Yeah, Iris," he replied, "in a few minutes. I'm just thinking about this wall." Prue returned to the Chiswick flat, cold, wet, and with Chelsea mud ground into the hem of her denims and cuffs of her sweater. Perhaps it wouldn't rain tomorrow. She let herself into the lobby of the building, crossed to the lift, and pressed the button. The doors slid open to reveal a single occupant sitting smack in the middle of the small space. "Hello, Boris," Prue said. The Irish wolfhound made a throaty sound, not a bark, not a whine, but what sounded like a conversational reply. He stood, shook himself, and walked out, hesitating long enough for Prue to give his wiry head a scratch, easy to reach, as it came well above her waist. He had a magazine rolled up and tied to his collar. "Are you on a delivery?" At that moment, a door opened down the corridor and a man's head emerged. "Is that you, Boris? Have you got my time out? Good lad." Boris loped down the corridor and let the man take the magazine. Prue held the elevator, and the dog strolled back.